This is the KRMG Afternoon News with Skylar Cooper.
Time for the BA Breakdown on the KRMG Afternoon News, and we're joined live by Broken Arrow City Manager Michael Spurgeon. How are you, sir?
I'll tell you, Skylar, I'm doing great. It's been a wonderful day. I just got back. Folks might find it interesting. Once a month, the officials from the chamber, the city, and the school district get together, and we just talk about what's going on in our city and make sure everybody's on the same sheet of music. We call it the three-legged stool, and we had an amazing meeting today just talking about all that's happening and what's coming up and just all things Broken Arrow. Look forward to talking to you, my friend.
Well, thanks for being here. And I wanted to bring something up that we touched on a month ago, but now this week it's sort of getting into motion, and that is the public forums that you guys are holding for the 2026 bond proposal, the general obligation bond.
Yes.
And you told me that you want this to be kind of a community-centered thing. You want feedback from people. So that first meeting is Thursday. Can you explain again why people would want to come to that, what you want to hear from them, the kind of feedback you're looking for?
Well, I think it's important anytime you're going to put a proposition, or in this case, propositions before the voters like we are on April 7th of next year, you want to maximize public input on what projects or initiatives they will actually vote on. And so we are kicking off the public forum or public education phase of our bond package in regards to what projects to be selected. And so we're going to have 3 public forums starting, as you mentioned, the 28th. Day after tomorrow, Battle Creek Golf Course at the banquet room from 6:30 to 8. And it's going to be an opportunity for those that come out to see the projects that we have come up with based on all the community input that we've taken from surveys, meeting with civic organizations, community groups, residents, HOAs. And we've culminated everything together to get their input on these projects, because obviously there's more projects then there is funds available. So we're going to have to prioritize. And so when we go to the voters in April of next year, we want to make sure there's been maximum participation. So these are the projects that we're putting before them that they feel comfortable approving.
So is it you're going to present them with the list of possibilities and kind of let them hone in on it, or is it open forum where they could suggest things?
Actually, what's going to happen is obviously some residents may have not been through a general obligation bond package initiative before. So Aaron McCulloch has put together a great PowerPoint presentation for the mayor and me, and we'll spend about 10 minutes explaining about general obligation bonds and the process. And then we're going to go to more of an Oklahoma Department of Transportation style forum to where all the propositions are going to be in different parts of the room with all the various projects. And then folks are going to be able to go to those various areas with the projects. Like there'll be one for transportation, which is your roads. Then there'll be public safety, parks and recreation, city facilities, and folks can go there, look at the projects, and they can actually put priorities on those projects. And there'll be forms they can fill out to let us know about the priorities. And then we're going to tabulate all that information into a report for the council to look at as they start to deliberate how to narrow those projects down within the $400 million that's going to be available in April vote of next year.
So kind of like speed dating for the different topics in the in the bond package.
I love that. Actually, I mean, we're going to be there for 2.5 hours. If we have to be there for 3 hours, we're going to be there for 3 hours. We're expecting a great crowds for all 3 of the events. You just don't have to come to one. You can come to all 3 if you choose. In fact, I think some people probably will. There will be council members. There'll be the internal steering committee of citizens will be there, department directors, and it's really just another opportunity for maximum transparency about what we're trying to do here, because ultimately it's going to culminate on a vote on April 7th of 2026.
Broken Arrow City Manager Michael Spurgeon, live on KRMG. It's the BA Breakdown. You know, we always ask the listeners to send us questions for you. We just got this on the open mic.
Okay.
Albany by the Bass Pro Shop, where half of it's 25 and the other half's 35. People are going 45 and 55, and I'm about getting ready to see how good their insurance is.
He doesn't really have a question in there, but I guess what he's asking is, are you getting other complaints, or have you heard anything about speeds through there on, I guess that'd be Hillside? Or he said Albany by Hillside.
Honestly, Skylar, I have not. However, I mean, that's a main thoroughfare through our community. And when I get these type of requests, I immediately have our chief of police and his leadership team take a look at the area. And then what we'll do is we will actually send officers out during the shifts to actually do some patrolling. I mean, that's probably, seeing an officer there is a major deterrent. we'd like for folks to follow the speed limits, especially in those high traffic areas. And so I appreciate the phone, the call in, because now I can talk to our chief of police and his team about doing some patrolling in that area. So everybody beware.
Making things happen here on the KRMG Afternoon News.
Thank you.
Something else we talked about, I just wanted to get an update because I drove through here on Sunday, that construction zone at 81st or Houston and Olive, or 129th East Avenue. I know the lanes and the traffic patterns changed a little bit. Is that getting closer?
Well, actually, I'm glad you brought that up, because obviously that's an irritant to many of our citizens that drive east and west. I mean, it is an inconvenience, that intersection. I just want to point out, because I ask about it all the time. I asked Charlie Bright, our director of engineering and construction. We had double the rainfall in May and June, and that affected our ability to get out there and do the work. Plus, we ran into a problem with one of the gas lines, them going out and relocating it. We can't relocate their utilities, and so we're expected to be done sometime around the end of September, early October, and we're behind schedule. And so, quite frankly, and I just want to be transparent with everybody, the inconvenience, unfortunately, is going to continue for a few more months after that because of the rain and the trouble we had relocating that line. So we did shift from the south to the north, so that's being addressed. But I just ask folks to be patient for a few more months, and then what we're going to have is this big, beautiful 5-lane road that's going to make going east and west of our community amazing. And then we're going to jump right back over and start doing the East Mile, which will be from Olive to Aspen. And then eventually you're going to have an amazing way to get back and forth east and west on our committee on both Washington, 91st and 81st.
Next week, when I am not here, you'll be talking with April Hill, and
yes,
she wanted me to ask you today if you know when Trader Joe's is going to open.
Well, we can't wait, because it's going to be just another great addition to the lineup up there on Hillside Drive. As you know, we just announced Adams Creek, and there's going to be a home goods store there probably by the end of next year. And what we're being told, and they're still very secretive about their timeline, but we're being told that Trader Joe's is going to open before the end of this year. And so once I'm trying to get that out of them too, because we want to make that a big deal. But I can tell you that's going to be an incredible addition to that lineup, Skylar. So let April know. I'll see if I can find out between now and then any more specific date, okay?
Sounds good. Michael Spurgeon, the city manager in Broken Arrow. I will talk to you in 2 weeks, but you'll be back here on the show a week from now. Thank you so much.
Take care, Skylar.